Hey everyone, welcome to the MCQ series on finance current affairs. So, we will be discussing the MCQs related to finance current affairs from 1st of January to 15th of January. No problem at all, Nikita. Definitely we'll wait for some minutes and we can then start the session. No worries at all. So guys, I hope your preparation is going well, and in this particular video we are going to discuss about the finance current affairs related to the first half of the month of January, right? Acha, today we are going to do some of the finance current affairs related MCQs, plus I will be explaining you the concept of inflation, deflation and disinflation also. So for those who have attended the regular paid classes, they must be already knowing about the concept. So I'll be covering about the concept of inflation, deflation, disinflation and reflation. Okay. Okay, Payal, so you are from BCom final year. So no worries at all. Just try to learn the static part from the dynamic news, right? So definitely you have to cover the current affair from the relevant month, I will say, whenever you are giving the examination of RBI grade B. But I can say that if you still attend the sessions, you can have an idea like how the questions are getting framed in the examination and what things you have to focus more and more from the examination perspective, right? And do learn the static part more. So guys, let's start the session. The very first question for today is related to Supervisory Data Quality Index, SDQI. Now, SDQI is used by the regulators to evaluate the quality of the data being submitted by banks across the multiple dimensions. Can you guys tell me what was the overall SDQI score for the scheduled commercial banks of September 2025? 2025 SDQI score related to, in the second week we have covered this particular finance current affairs. What is the SDQI score? Any idea, anyone? What is the SDQI score? Everyone in the comment section. The SDQI score of scheduled commercial bank for September 2025 month was 90.7. Okay, 90.7 was the SDQI score for the scheduled commercial bank. We have discussed this particular concept in the finance current affairs session, and there are so many parameters in the SDQI score. So which parameter recorded the highest SDQI score in the assessment of the scheduled commercial bank? Which was the parameter in which highest SDQI score was there in the assessment? Good afternoon, Akanksha. The highest SDQI score. Good afternoon, Aditya. The parameter which was there for the highest SDQI score in the assessment was completeness. Okay, there are so many factors like completeness, consistency, timeliness and accuracy. So out of these parameters, I can say completeness was the one which was having the highest score in the scheduled commercial bank. Next one, if I talk about category wise, right? Now, in the scheduled commercial also banks, also we do have public sector banks, we do have private sector banks, foreign banks, regional rural banks or small finance bank. Which bank was having the highest SDQI score? Which bank was having the highest SDQI score? Any idea, anyone? Any idea about this one? Now I can't see so many comments here. Maybe you guys are not revising the finance current affairs, or maybe you have skipped that particular lecture related to the finance current affairs. So I highly advise you guys to please attend these sessions. Can be definitely important for your examination. Yes, small finance bank is the correct one. Small finance bank is the correct one. Option E, right? Small finance bank. Very good. So among all the categories, a small finance bank have released the highest SDQI score as of now. So option E here is the correct choice, right? Next one. Within the SDQI framework, delay in submission or late reporting of the supervisory data is capturing a specific parameter. Can you tell me the name of the parameter which is capturing actually the delay in submission or late reporting of the SDQI? Now, SDQI score is definitely calculated by using major parameters like accuracy, completeness, timeliness, consistency. Which of the parameter is related to delay in submission of the SDQI data or late reporting of the supervisory data? Any idea? So you can easily judge this one. Even if you don't know anything about SDQI, still you can judge this one. It's a straight one. Yes. Option C here, timeliness is the correct choice. If you are not submitting the data on time, or you are doing a late reporting, definitely it will hamper your SDQI score, and the parameter which will be going to be affected here will be timeliness parameter, right? It will be timeliness parameter. Very good. Next one. India has been focusing on expanding financing avenues for strategic sectors such as ports, such as shipping and maritime infrastructure. As part of this initiative, a specialized non-banking financial company was launched to cater exclusively to the maritime sector. Can you tell me the India's first maritime NBFC, which has recently started the operations? Important for your examination. This is going to be important for your examination. So quickly check out the options and let me know in the comment section which is the correct choice. In the second week of January only we have covered this particular news. Yes, very good. This is Sagarmala. This is Sagarmala Finance Corporation Limited. Option D is the correct choice. Okay, Sagarmala Finance Corporation Limited is the India's first maritime NBFC. Perfect. Next one. Now this is related to a SEBI circular and can be super important for your examination, right? A very high probability question. SEBI has revised the regulatory framework for the merchant banker with a phased enhancement in the capital requirement. So if you want to become a category 1 merchant banker, there is a phased implementation timeline that you need to follow. So if you want to be a category 1 merchant banker, you must achieve the minimum net worth of how much by 2nd of January 2027. The correct choice here will be 25 crore rupee, right? So by 2nd of January 2027, you have to achieve at least 25 crore. And can you guys tell me the base limit, which eventually you have to achieve if you want to become a category 1 merchant banker? What is the base limit that you have to achieve in terms of net worth if you want to become a category 1 merchant banker? Now this is a phased implementation. So I can say that yes, by the 2027 you have to achieve 25 crore, but you have to be, yes, very good. You have to at least have 50 crore net worth by 2028. Perfect. right? So this is for only the existing players who are existing merchant banker. Let's suppose I'm already registered merchant banker, right? So these phases are for me, not for a newly newly launched or I can say a person who has recently started the merchant banking operation. This is not for those people, right? So let's suppose Aditya has also started the merchant banker operation and he wants to be a category 1 merchant banker. Then he needs to achieve net worth of 50 crore from the very beginning. This is for those who are already in the business of merchant banking, and they have to kind of increase their net worth by 25 crore. At least they need to have 25 crore by 2nd of January 2027, and by 2028 they need to have at least 50 crore, right? This can be important for your examination. One question can definitely come related to merchant banking regulation in your RBI grade B examination 2026, a very high probability question, or I can say the entire circular is very, very important here. Next one, can you also tell me what is the minimum required liquid net worth by merchant bankers? There is a concept of liquid net worth also. What is the bare minimum liquid net worth requirement for the merchant bankers? And guys, for those who have recently joined the batch, it's been only 2-3 days that you have joined. No worries at all if you are not able to understand this one. Maybe this is your first lecture. So आपको लग रहा होगा सर हमको तो कुछ समझ में ही नहीं आ रहा है. Everything will be sorted with time, right? This is the finance current affairs session. I have already taken the finance current affairs, and this is the MCQ class. So there might be some students ki sir, where we haven't covered this or that. No worries at all. Give yourself some time. Everything will be sorted day by day. Okay. The correct choice here is 20%. Okay. Sorry, 25%. 25%. So let's suppose if you have 50 crore net worth requirement, you need to also have liquid net worth. Out of this 50 crore, at least 25% you need to keep in the liquid net worth. Okay. In the liquid net worth. And this question is also super important, right? This question is also important. So this ensures liquidity. This ensures liquidity. So it is 25%. Okay. Next one. SEBI has strengthened the governance norms for the alternate investment funds by prescribing minimum standard for the key personnel. This move aims to ensure professional management and investor confidence in the AIF ecosystem. What has SEBI mandated for the key personnel of the alternative investment fund? Options are in front of you. Take your time and try to answer this one. So recently this was an update from SEBI's end. Again, it is a part of your finance current affairs. Why? Because this is a SEBI circular. This is a part of your SEBI circular. So guys, not just RBI circulars, but some of the SEBI circulars can also be important for your examination. And that's why I cover the SEBI circulars as well in your finance current affairs session. RBI circular, so definitely we have a separate series for that. The correct choice here is, guys, NISM certification. Option E. NISM certification is the correct choice, not option B. AMFI certification is not required. AMFI is related to the mutual funds, right? Here we need NISM certification for the alternate investment fund key personnel. That means the key employees of the AIF must have at least the NISM certification. Why? Because that will be at least a proof of concept that yes, they are very well capable of running an alternate investment fund, which involves a huge amount of risk as well. Okay. Option E here is the correct one. Next, under the revised prudential norms related to non-banking financial company, prudential norms on capital adequacy, the RBI has provided differentiated risk weights for the NBFC infrastructure lending. So let's suppose NBFC is lending to an infrastructure company. So definitely RBI has changed the weights here. RBI has changed the weights here. Why RBI has changed the weights? These measures aim to incentivize disciplined repayment behavior and improved asset quality. What is the applicable risk weight for loan to high quality infrastructure project? Infrastructure project is quite high quality in nature, and where at least 2% of the sanctioned project debt has been repaid. The loan here is to the high quality infrastructure project. Let's suppose I am an NBFC, I have given a loan to a very high quality infrastructure project, right? And where at least 2% of the sanctioned project debt has been repaid. So the borrower has actually paid me at least 2% of whatever the project cost is. Borrower has already repaid 2%. Now this is a difficult question and this can be definitely important as well for your examination. RBI released a notification related to this. If you are an NBFC company, you are lending to a high quality infrastructure project where at least 2% of the money of the loan has already been paid by that particular borrower. So you need to maintain a risk weight of at least 75%. Option D here is the correct choice. Option D here is the correct choice. Okay. Next one. What if again the NBFC has given a loan to the high quality infrastructure project, but now the borrower has repaid at least 5%. Earlier the borrower just paid 2% of the sanctioned project. Now the borrower has paid 5% of the sanctioned project debt. What will be the risk weight in this case? What will be the risk weight in this case? What do you think? Will it be higher than 75% or lower than 75%? What do you think? Even if you don't know the answer, just tell me. Will the risk be higher or lower? The borrower earlier has paid just 2%. Now the borrower has paid 5% of the total loan. Do you think that risk is still high? Risk will be low. So definitely risk weight will be also lower than the previous one. Risk weight bhi to kam hoga na bhai, right? Earlier the risk weight used to be 75%, right? Because the borrower has just paid only 2%. Now RBI says that if the borrower has paid at least 5%, then you will be getting the lower risk weight of 50%. Option E here is the correct choice. Option E here is the correct choice. Again, don't feel stressed if you are not able to understand this one. Maybe you haven't watched my finance current affairs lecture related to that week, right? That's why you are not able to answer the question. No worries at all. Slowly you will be able to learn each and everything. So it takes time. It takes time. It's not a basic lecture that we are taking as of now, right? This is an MCQ class. So give yourself some time, plus attend regularly the static portion as well. And definitely you guys will be. कहाँ से कवर करें भाई? फाइनेंस करंट अफेयर्स ऑलरेडी आपके कोर्स में असाइंड होगा, वहां से कवर करो, राइट? ये चीज यूट्यूब पे भी चलती है, आप वहां से भी कवर कर सकते हो. सिर्फ वो लेक्चर देख लो फाइनेंस करंट अफेयर्स का. ओके, just watch that lecture. So this lecture will be related to if you find this on 8th of January 2026, you will be getting it. Okay, so directly watch that lecture, you will be able to cover this stuff. Okay, and it will definitely take some amount of time. If you have just recently joined the class, try to attend some of the initial lectures of my finance and try to attend those lectures live only. Definitely you will come to know कि कितना बेसिक से मैं पढ़ाता हूँ, राइट? डोंट फील कि सर आप बहुत एडवांस लेवल पढ़ा रहे हो. नो वरीज एट ऑल. देयर वोंट बी एनी काइंड ऑफ एडवांस लेवल इन द स्टैटिक पोर्शन. I will be hand holding each and every student from the very scratch. You can ask me n number of questions, no worries at all, right? In the static classes. So once you are able to attend 5 to 10 static classes, then you will be in a better position to understand these complex terminologies as well. Okay, so it takes time and no worries at all. We'll be beautifully covering each and every concept related to RBI grade B. So here we can see this was a part of RBI circular that the RBI has revised the risk weights related to NBFC lending to the high quality infrastructure project, right? Next one, the deposit insurance plays a crucial role in maintaining the depositor's confidence and financial stability. That's why we do have deposit insurance and guarantee corporation. Now periodically this report covers a coverage level in terms of how many number of accounts are insured, right? So over what percentage of the bank accounts were insured at the end of financial year 2025? This was also a data released by Reserve Bank of India recently only. So what do you think, guys, is the correct choice here? How many accounts were covered in terms of percentage? Here I am talking about the number of accounts, right? Not the value. Not the value. So if I talk about the percentage coverage in terms of number of accounts, 97% of the accounts were covered. 97% of the accounts were covered. Now, for those who don't understand what is DICGC, let me just quickly tell you. Let's suppose if Mr. A is depositing 7 lakh rupees with a bank, with PNB Bank, say for example, with Punjab National Bank. And if anything bad's happened to Punjab National Bank, maybe Punjab National Bank is facing some liquidity issues, the bank is not even able to pay the money back. Still, your money is insured. Your money, your deposit is insured by DICGC. What is DICGC? Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation. It's an organization and it is a wholly owned subsidiary of Reserve Bank of India. Yesterday only we understood the concept of wholly owned subsidiary. So DICGC is a wholly owned subsidiary of Reserve Bank of India. So I can say RBI is there in backing to take care of the bank, to take care of the depositor, but only up to 5 lakh rupees. Your money is safe in banks, but only up to 5 lakh rupees per bank, right? Let's suppose I'm having account in PNB Bank. I have 7 lakh rupees. I have one more account in Bank of Baroda. I also have 7 lakh rupees in Bank of Baroda. So my money is secured 5 lakh rupees in PNB and 5 lakh rupees in BOB. So this is called as the DICGC cover. RBI is there to take care of the depositors. So 97% of the accounts are already covered in the DICGC cover as per the report released by Reserve Bank of India. But in terms of value, only 41.5% accounts are covered. Now the number of accounts we have definitely covered 97%, but if I talk about value, only 41.5% of the money is insured. Why? Because RBI is only giving insurance up to 5 lakh rupees, not above that, right? So if your money is there in banks more than 5 lakh rupees per account, per person, you get the insurance only up to 5 lakh rupees. Okay. Next one. The RBI has issued the revised norms related to related party transaction to strengthen the governance and reduce the conflict of interest. What is the regulatory treatment of existing related party transaction that do not comply with the revised norms? So RBI has released the new related party transaction rules. What is related party transaction? Let's suppose if I am a banking entity, I have a related party, right? I have a related party. Somewhere or the other we are connected. So I'm making a transaction with that party. So it will fall in the related party transaction rules. Why? Because if I know a person, definitely I'll be biased, right? Similarly, if a bank is doing transaction with any entity, they are related parties. So there are chances of frauds and error or biasedness in this particular case, right? So that's why RBI is having strict related party transaction rules and they are newly published, right? But if you have already made a transaction before these rules are coming into picture, let's suppose the rules are introduced from today, for example. So what will happen to the transactions which I have taken before today? The earlier transactions will be allowed to continue till maturity without any modification. Without any modification, this can also be important for your examination, right? Whatever transactions you have already undertaken, no worries at all. You can continue with that transaction, but don't do any kind of modification with that transaction. For the new transactions, you have to comply with the new related party transaction rules. You have to comply with the new related party transaction rules, right? Next question. Loan to deposit ratio is a key indicator of banking system liquidity. Persistently high LDR levels primarily indicates what? What do you mean by LDR? Loan to deposit. It is also called as credit deposit, CD ratio, credit deposit ratio. What is the meaning of this CD ratio? Let's suppose I'm a bank. So how do I earn money? I take deposits. Right? And I lend these deposits. I give loans and advances. What do you mean by a deposit? You deposited 1 lakh rupees with HDFC Bank. That's a deposit for the HDFC Bank, right? That's a deposit for HDFC Bank. HDFC Bank will be paying you some interest on it. It can be savings account, it can be FD account or so on, right? Similarly, HDFC Bank will not keep your money idle in the banks, right? HDFC Bank will use your money to give loans and advances. HDFC Bank will use your money to give loans and advances. So we calculate loan to deposit ratio. Let's suppose you are having 100 rupees as deposit. I am a bank. I got 100 rupees and out of that I lend 80%. I have given 80 rupees loans and advances. So can I say that my credit deposit ratio is 80% here? Right? Whatever I am getting in my pocket, out of that 80 rupees, I give it as a loan. Now let's suppose I started giving loans aggressively. Earlier, I used to give 80% out of 100. Now I am giving 90% out of 100. So my CD ratio increases. My loan to deposit ratio increases. Now what kind of stress or risk is there in this particular event? If I try to increase my CD ratio, right? If I try to increase my loan to deposit ratio, I'm getting 100 rupees in my pocket. I started giving 90 rupee worth loan. Earlier, I was only giving 80 rupees loan. Now I am giving 90 rupees loan. Don't you think that there will be liquidity stress? Yes, very good. Very good. There will be liquidity stress. Why? Because earlier I got 100 rupee in my pocket. I have given loans and advances of 80 rupees. So I have a 20 rupees still there to take care of my liquidity. Now I only have 10 rupees in my pocket. So this can cause liquidity stress. So whenever the CD ratio is going up, it creates a liquidity stress. And as of now, banks are struggling with the liquidity stress because of the high CD ratio. Next one, related to the UPI growth. This data is related to December 2025, right? But I can tell you this is how RBI is asking questions in the examination. You don't have to remember this particular data. Why? Because whenever you are giving the exam, you have to remember 3 types of data. Just the previous month before your examination, just the recent month before your examination, the financial year end data, which will be in your case 31st March 2026, right? And in case if there is any sudden spike in the data or decline in the data, these 3 kind of data you have to remember. Otherwise, all the data for you guys will be outdated, but this gives you an idea how RBI is asking questions. So this is regarding the digital payments in India. What is the growth rate of UPI in terms of volume and in terms of value, percentage wise? Any idea, anyone? So in these types of examination, we have to also do a lot of data crunching. Any idea? Anyone? No worries at all. The correct choice here is option A. In terms of volume, the UPI is growing by 29% in 2025 December month, and in terms of value, the growth was 20%. In terms of value, the growth was 20%. Right? No worries at all. Even if you are not able to answer the question, no worries at all. You'll be fine once you are done with your major part of the static portion. Plus, at the same time, I appreciate that most of the students are attending the finance current affairs class also, and that's how we learn slowly. Okay, It's not like that from the very first day we can start. And if we learn how to drive a car, it takes time, right? On the first time, it is so messy. Eventually, everything is sorted, and that's how is the case with finance also. I can see so many non-commerce students also in the class. So no worries at all. We will build that relevant background for you guys. Just start with the static portion and keep attending the dynamic classes also. After 5 to 10 static classes, you will be having that kind of confidence that you are no more a non-finance background student. I'll definitely create your background related to finance. Even if you are from arts, I don't care, right? I will create that background for you, no worries at all, in the static classes, right? In the dynamic classes, I also have certain restrictions, because if I start explaining each and everything, it will become a static class only, right? I won't be even able to touch the dynamic portion. Yes, Akanksha, for sure. And one advice from my end, guys, don't create any kind of backlog. Try to conclude each and everything in the same month only. Okay? बार backlog बन गया, वो कभी खत्म नहीं होगा. एग्जाम भी निकल जाएगा, तब तक खत्म नहीं होगा, right? So don't try to make any kind of backlog. You have to cover the finance current affairs or anything in the very same month only. Next one is related to the Payment Regulatory Board. Now, RBI has recently formed a Payment Regulatory Board, and in the month of January only, the first meeting was also there related to the Payment Regulatory Board. So this board will be regulating all the payment system in India, whether it is UPI, RTGS, NEFT, every payment method. How many members are there in the Payment Regulatory Board? Important. जनवरी के पहले मंथ का यार देखो अभी रेलेवेंट नहीं है. मैं आपको ये बोलूंगा कि आप स्टैटिक पार्ट पे बहुत ज्यादा अच्छे से कमांड बनाना चालू करो, सारी फैकल्टीज की क्लासेस अटेंड करो, राइट? अच्छे से कमांड बनाना चालू करो. अभी जनवरी से पहले जाने की आपको नीड नहीं है फिलहाल के लिए, राइट? जस्ट ट्राई टू अटेंड द स्टैटिक एज वेल एज द डायनेमिक लेक्चर्स और एक बढ़िया सा बेस बनाना चालू करो अपना. ओके, और बेस ऑटोमेटिकली बन जाएगा व्हेन यू स्टार्ट अटेंडिंग द फाइनेंस क्लासेस. बेस आपका बहुत अच्छे से बन जाएगा एंड यू गाइज विल बी understanding what I am saying in the initially 4 classes only. In the initial 4 classes only, you will guys get a taste like how we are covering the things in the static part. So definitely your base will be very, very strong for sure. The correct answer here is 6. There are 6 members in the Payment Regulatory Board, right? There are 6 members in the Payment Regulatory Board. Next one. In recent years, Reserve Bank of India has been expanding the use case of its central bank digital currency. We learned about the CBDC, right, in yesterday's class. Which bank has recently started integrating the digital currency, the CBDC, which is also known as digital rupee, into its merchant payment called as Smart Gateway? So this was, I think, the very first news that we covered yesterday. I hope everyone will be able to answer this one. There is nothing difficult in this particular question. HDFC, perfect. HDFC Bank is the correct choice. Very good. HDFC Bank, right? They have integrated the digital rupee in the Smart Gateway platform. So now the merchants can also accept the payment, not just in credit card, UPI, debit card or so on, but with the help of CBDC also, right? Central bank digital currency also. Next one, which is the first bank in India to launch a solar ATM, solar powered ATM van? Recently, a bank has actually launched a solar power ATM van. Which is the one? This is also a simple question. No complex concepts, just a direct finance current affairs. Very good. Tripura Grameen Bank becomes the first bank to launch a solar powered ATM van in India, and this can be definitely important for your general awareness section. Finance current affairs. There is a finance current affairs in your general affairs, so this can definitely be important for your examination. Okay. Next one. What was the CPI data related to December 2025 month. Consumer price index, or I can say my retail inflation. How much was the increase in CPI data in December 2025 month? Again, a very simple question. I think most of you guys will be able to answer this one. Option E, 1.33%, right? 1.33%, perfect. Acha, what was the food inflation? Can you tell me that? What was the food inflation? Anyone? Quickly, guys, in the comment section. What was the food inflation? Any idea? It was there in the negative territory, right? It was there in the negative territory. Exactly, it was minus 2.71%. Sir, what do you mean by minus 2.7%? Is the prices actually going down? Yes, the prices are actually going down if I talk about food, right? Now we'll be learning about what is negative inflation, what is inflation, what is deflation, what is disinflation. Allow me some time. Let me just complete the MCQs and then I'll be teaching you a new concept today, which is related to inflation, deflation, and disinflation. Okay. Next one. India witnessed an increase in the headline CPI inflation. What combination best explains the increase in the headline inflation, headline retail inflation in December 2025? So let me tell you guys, when we talk about CPI inflation, it is also called as headline inflation. It is also called as headline inflation or retail inflation, one of the same thing only. One of the same thing only. So guys, you have to remember the data plus the driving reasons also of data. Why the data got increased or decreased, you need to know the reasons as well, why there is a change in the data. So don't limit your knowledge only up to data. Be interested in knowing the reasons as well, and the reason here is option C, slower pace of food prices deflation along with the firm core inflation. This was the driving reason that we discussed in yesterday's class, option C. Next one, what is the new base year for consumer price year? Now I told you that the base year for the CPI has changed and it is going to be applicable from January 2026. From January 2026, you'll be having a new base year for CPI. What is the new base year? Yes, very good. 2024 is the new base year. 2024 is the new base year. Okay, important question for the examination. The data related to inflation will change every month, so you just have to remember the financial year closure ka data. You just have to remember the recent previous month ka data just before your examination, or in case if any sudden trend or sudden decline is there, you need to read that data. Otherwise the rest of the data will be irrelevant for your examination. But this thing that there is a change in the base year is a once in a while event. That's why it is very, very important for your examination. Okay, this is a once in a while event. We don't usually change the base year of inflation. Every year we are not changing the base year of inflation, right? So very high probability question for your examination 2026. Next one. Which Japanese bank recently got the approval to establish a wholly owned subsidiary in India? So Reserve Bank of India has actually permitted a Japanese group to have a wholly owned subsidiary in India. Which is the group? What is the name of that group? The correct choice here is option C, SMBC, which stands for Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corporation. SMBC. Next one. RBI has actually increased the dividend payout limit to what percentage of the net profit? This is also a simple question. The correct choice here will be option A, 75%. Okay, 75%. Option A, 75%. Perfect. Next one. And hopefully the last question for today is related to the revision in the India's GDP growth projection for financial year 2026. So World Bank has recently revised the India's growth projection for financial year 2026. The rate is 7.2%. Perfect. 7.2% is the rate. Now, guys, we'll be understanding the concept of inflation, deflation, reflation, and disinflation. So we'll be learning these four concepts. Now, these four concepts can look complex, but allow me some time. Let's make them super easy for you guys. Inflation, deflation, reflation, disinflation. Right? So for those who have already attended the live classes, they must be knowing about these concepts, right? I usually cover it in the inflation class in the static classes, right? So guys, how many of you guys actually know what is the meaning of deflation? You already know the meaning of inflation. What about deflation? How many of you guys understand deflation? Reduction in the price of the commodity. Inflation means increase in the rate. Deflation means decrease in the rate. Fair enough, right? So if I talk about inflation, it is nothing but the general increase in the price level over the time, which reduces my purchasing power. Let's suppose I have 5 rupees in my pocket. I have 5 rupees. So in 2010, I was able to buy this cup of tea at 5 rupees. But now, if I want to buy the same cup of tea, I need 20 rupees in my pocket. Is this the case or not? Yes, it is the case. So can I say that the purchasing power of my currency reduces, and this is nothing but inflation? The prices are going up day by day. The prices are going up day by day. And there will be a time when you will be buying the same cup of tea for 50 rupees. For 50 rupees. That's what inflation is all about. That's what inflation is all about, right? So inflation, the prices go up. In the inflation, the prices go up, right? Whereas if I talk about deflation, the prices will actually go down. The prices will actually go down. Let's suppose I used to buy this cup of tea 20 rupees for 20 rupees in 2026. Maybe in 2030, I'm able to still buy this at 15 rupees or maybe 10 rupees. So can I say that the prices are actually going down? The prices are actually going down, and that's what is happening in case of food inflation. It is going down. We have seen that it is in the negative territory. It is in the negative territory. So if I draw a chart, here is 0%, 2%, 4%, 6%, 10%. Then minus 2%, minus 4%, minus 6%, minus 10%. This is the deflation area. This is called as deflation. The prices are actually going down. Whereas in inflation, the prices are going up. The prices are actually going up. Then what about disinflation? Do you guys know about disinflation? Anyone? And how it is different from deflation? How it is different from deflation? How it is different from deflation, and what is disinflation? Any idea? Anyone? Reduce prices but still in the positive side. Okay, look, a decrease in the rate of inflation. Very good. So if I talk about disinflation, the prices are actually going up. But earlier, the prices were going up like this: 5 rupee, 10 rupee, 15 rupee, 20 rupee. But now the prices are going up like this: 5 rupee, 6 rupee, 8 rupee, 10 rupee. So I can say that inflation is there, but this is a slowing down of the rate of inflation. The prices are still going up, but at a lower pace. So can I say that if earlier my inflation was 6%, now it is only 2%. So this reduction is nothing but disinflation. Disinflation, reduction in the speed of growth of inflation. That's nothing but disinflation, right? That's nothing but disinflation. So I am not going into the negative territory. I'm still on the positive side only. The prices are still going up. But let's suppose if the worth of a good is 100 rupee, earlier it is going up by 6%. So next year the price will be 106, but now the price will only be 102 because there is a slowdown in the rate of growth of inflation. Earlier the inflation was 6%, now it is just 2%. Now it is just 2%. This is called as disinflation, right? And reflation is your homework, guys. So let me know in the next class what do you understand by the term reflation, and I'll be taking the term reflation. We'll be having a discussion related to reflation in the very next class. Okay, guys. So thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care. See you soon. And for those who have just recently joined, allow yourself some time. Everything will be quite crystal clear once you start attending the static classes. Okay, so bye bye guys, take care, see you soon, and be consistent. Please do try to watch all the classes live. If not possible, then you can definitely watch the recorded sessions also. Plus, at the same time you are attending the static portion, try to attend the finance current affairs and the MCQs related to finance current affairs also. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for attending the class. Bye bye, take care, see you soon in the next class. Have a great day. Thank you so much everyone. Bye bye, take care.